No matter how many problems that we face, trials in our lives, no matter how many setbacks that we have gone through, no matter how much pain that we have all experienced in our life, no matter how lonely we have may feel or disappointed that we have been, rejected or sick, but through it all, it's a sweet relief knowing that we're still in the hands of the Lord. Amen. And being in the hands of the Lord, you are in good hands. Amen, somebody? Amen. And in the hands of the Lord, you will find deliverance. You will find peace. Hello, somebody. Peace in your storms, peace in your valley, peace in our mind. In the hands of the Lord, you will find joy. Amen. We will find strength when you don't have any strength. You will find power. But most of all, we will find guidance. Amen, somebody? And sometimes in this walk with God, we need to be God. Or in this walk, in this world, we need guidance. Amen, somebody? God knows that we make many mistakes. God knows that even through this journey, we want to give up. But somebody say that there is victory in the Lord. Not only is there victory, but there's salvation. Eternal security when you find yourself in the hands of the Lord. Amen. But yet, just because you find yourself in the hands of the Lord does not mean that everything will be okay. Are you with me? Here we realize Joseph was in the hands of God. Amen, somebody? But yet he went through a lot of trials, a lot of tribulations before he was made second in command of Egypt. Here we see Job was in the hands. Somebody say Job was in the hands of the Lord. Amen. But yet he experienced a lot of trials and tribulations when he lost everything that he had within 24 hours period of time. Amen, somebody? Yet Job stayed faithful with God. And I come to ask you the question this morning, can we stay faithful with the Lord no matter what we're going through? Can we still trust Him no matter what experience that we go through in our lives? Can we still trust God? Amen. It wasn't that Job wanted to go through these things in life. But God said, have you chosen my servant Job? Hello, somebody. And this morning, a lot of us, we have been chosen for a test in life that we may feel is not fair. But yet we still have to go through trials and tribulations. Some are different than others. We all experience things different than others. Some have been through harder things in life. Some have suffered more. Hello, somebody. Some of us, we can't even identify with what you're going through, but God can. Amen. I woke up this morning and I felt so alone, not because my family is not with me, because when you lose people you love, you feel that you are abandoned and you're going without. Amen. But God has showed me that I'm still in His hands. Amen. And it's a sweet relief of knowing that no matter what, our loved ones are also in God's hands. Amen. Here the Hebrew boys were in the hands of the Lord when they were thrown into a fiery furnace. Daniel was at the hands of the Lord when he was thrown into the lion's den. John the Baptist was in the hands of the Lord when he was beheaded for speaking the truth. The Apostle Paul was in the hands of the Lord, but yet he was shipwrecked, beaten, left for dead, whipped, thrown into prison for preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. Amen. Just because you are in the hands and I am in the hands of the Lord does not exempt us from persecution, from troubles, sickness, from setbacks, or even pain. Amen, somebody? Amen. But yet when we face trials and tribulations in our life, it is the hands of the Lord that carry us through our storms. It's the hands of God that carry us through our trials and through our tribulations. It's the hands of the Lord that carry us through setbacks, trouble, and through our pain. Amen, somebody? I don't know about you this morning, but I know that a lot of us have been through setbacks in life. But I want to encourage you that you're in God's hands. No matter how bad it gets. And somebody say it have to get worse before it gets better. And I know one thing for sure, before you give up, the Lord will come in and take over. Sometimes, church, we have to be able to give up that God can take over. Amen. A lot of times, because I try to do things on my own, it's when I fail. But when I come to the weakest part of my life, and when I want to give up and throw in the towel, I realize that all I have is the Lord. Amen? That's right. Psalms 119:67 says, before I was afflicted, I went astray, but now have I kept thy word. You see, before the afflictions, the psalmist was not keeping the word. Amen, somebody? He was not praying, nor was he worshiping God. That is why he also says in Psalms 119:71, it is good for me that I have been afflicted, that I might learn thy statutes. Amen, somebody? You see, church, some of us would not pray if it had not been for some trouble that came into our lives. Some of us would have not been or have come to church if it had not been for some trouble in our lives. Some of us would not be in Sunday school if it had not been for trials and tribulations that came in our life. But most of all, some of us would not have came to Jesus if it had not been for some trouble that have came into our lives. When in here, the Apostle Paul can say, it says in Romans 8:28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. Here, God will use circumstances and situations, as well as some sweet circumstances and situations, to shape us and mold us into the person that he wants us to be before the glory of God. This may sound painful, but something God has to allow us to be broken spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially, so God can shape us and mold us into the person that he wants us to be. Amen, somebody? Let's give God praise this morning. Amen.